Whoa!
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Bill. Welcome everyone to Bitcoin Brody and the Crypto Cadets. I'm Jeff Brody.
And I'm Bill Sheltima.
And we've got an emergency update for you because the bull run is over.
Oh, it's done. It's done.
It's finished.
It's this last can.
50% down.
Woo!
50% down, like boom.
Yeah. Overnight, when you wake up, of all the times to wake up to something so radical and drastic and life altering as that.
This is a really good opportunity to get back and look at those profit taking strategies and evaluate, was I working those?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's definitely a reminder, a very harsh reminder.
Yeah.
And I'm just brand new. I'm only 3 months into this. So, my portfolio is down 30, 33, 35%, let's say. And this is one thing I realized. It's like, not only have we have the emotional stress of what just happened, why did it happen, how long are we going to be down here? Is that the bottom? Is there going to be another bottom? 18,000 for Bitcoin. You hear some people on Facebook talking about. Plus, for myself, my experience on KuCoin, I couldn't get on. I could get on in the morning, and then it got hit with a lot of traffic. Network was just bombarded, and I couldn't log in, couldn't do anything. And then I was able to get in, and I thought, I'm going to move some money. I'm going to buy some USDT, pull it in from my bank account, e-transfer in, and it went through. But now there's the delay.
Yeah,
I still can't do anything. So that adds to the emotional stress and distress that people are going through. It's like, I want to buy back in because I believe in it, but I can't do anything yet. And I'm not prepared to, and I'm not personally prepared to sell what I have. I want to see it get at least on par, and then I'll decide to let some of my coins go. I have DAO or DAO, I guess it is. And I was thinking I'll let that one go in order to buy into something else. And so, yeah, it's a stressful time for a lot of people, I would imagine.
Oh, absolutely. It's like you think about people that have all of their coins sitting in their wallet, and they see this happening.
Mm-hmm.
And now you got to get from your wallet, and get it onto an exchange. I mean, the cool thing is that if you're using, depending on what you can get it onto one of the DEXs pretty easy from within a cold storage wallet if you have it connected to something like MetaMask or Trust Wallet or something like that, because you can get it on and you can use it on Uniswap, 1inch, yada yada yada.
Yeah, and these are things that newbies like myself don't consider because we're so new. We don't know some of the processes and strategies to move money in and out. Where should I move it to, and timing? Because once the network gets hit hard, it bottlenecks and you have to wait. I knew you've experienced that even recently, I think.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's crazy. It's like I bought into a project, I milked the project for all it was worth. And there was still residual around $3,000, 3,500. Like I'd already taken out this was one of the projects I did take profits on, and I did well because I did, I made 150% profit. So 2.5 times what I originally put in. So I extracted most of that out. I left about 10% of my original in there, and it had grown. There was still about $3,500 there. Well, I tried to sell that off the other day on PancakeSwap, and that never went through. It just sat there open, right? So there was no buyers.
Yeah.
And I watched it go from 11 cents down to 9 cents, down to 7 cents, down to 2.5 cents.
Wow.
And, it's like, wow. And this is the 2007, the 2018, 2019, that bull run crash. Everybody's thinking like, oh, it's not coming. And then, kapow.
Whammo blammo.
Yeah, whammo blammo. That's ooh. And we all think that, okay, we got this. We're cool. We're just going to sell. We're going to sell at the top. We're going to take our maximum profits. Well, the cool thing or the not so cool thing is that every time you sell, you need a buyer. So everybody sees it as the top. What are they going to do?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it's a struggle. It's that struggle to getting in at that the most optimum point, but it has to work both ways. Like you say, there's not only the dance of the charts, but there's that dance with the buyer seller too, really.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, it was interesting. It was my neighbor, retired engineer, trading stocks. And this goes back a few years, back to the Nortel days.
Mm-hmm.
Nortel, he had held Nortel in his portfolio for years. And he said, once it got up around $85, he just sold everything. I mean, he had massive profits.
Mm-hmm.
And he just said, you know, he said, I just really couldn't see it sustaining this. Mm-hmm. And, you know, one of the things is that if you sell it while there's still profit on the table for someone else to take, it's easier to get out.
Yeah.
Get out whole and complete.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. And, you know, as I'm sitting here going, wow, $85, right? So it hit $125, the Nortel stock.
Right.
And, you know, it started falling down, you know, and my buddy did the double down. He doubled down all the way to the bottom.
Yeah. Wow. What a ride.
And that's the thing. It's an emotional ride, right? So the crypto market, you know, it's like I'm sitting here with my 17-year-old son. We're looking at his portfolio, and it's already retracted probably like 10 to 12%. Mm-hmm. And he's saying like, well, you know, I really regret making last minute decisions. So I'm just going to kind of, you know, what should I do? Right. And I said, well, you could sell off and prepare for hunkering down. Mm-hmm. He's like, no, he says, if I do that, I'm going to regret it.
Smart kid.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, so it was like, okay, this morning I get up, everything's cool. I don't look at my phone. I do my meditation. I do my journaling. I get all centered. Yeah. You know, I go have my shower. I come back. I open up my phone and I go,
yeah.
You know,
total shock. Because, you know, we were looking at it last night. We were watching, what were we watching? We were watching Chip. And I was going to buy in.
Yeah.
Or I had bought in. I can't remember now because it was getting late. We were watching it. My girlfriend and she was fascinated with the charts and watching the candles. And, you know, I was teaching her a little bit what I know and just really fascinated. So that was really nice. And then I was expecting it to go up from the things like kind of some of the chatter you've been hearing and stuff. And only for it to go a totally different direction, like way, way, way down. And then I looked at all the other holdings that I had, including BTC, and it's like, this is crazy. Like, why did that happen? So, you know, you go on the net, you go on Telegram, or you go on Discord or whatever, and Facebook, and you find out, you know, stuff's going on in Asia and China, and people are, you know, freaking out over that. And then people that are reacting to that, and you have people that are reacting to the people that are reacting to that, and everything just starts to snowball, and then everything starts coming down.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it's that snowball effect, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, there I was last night. I'm looking. It's like, you know, one of the projects that I really like is called Matic Polygon. Mm-hmm. You know, I've been following that since it was 4 cents. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I've taken profits all along the way. And then it's like I bought back in at $2. Mm-hmm. I'd sold most of my holdings off, but a small bag at around $1.65. Mm-hmm. I'm like 40 times I'm happy.
Yeah.
I buy back in at $2, and I'm looking at it last night. And last night it does a flip. Yeah. It drops down to $1.85.
Yeah.
And I'm going like, okay, maybe I should pull out, right? I'm going, well, you know what? I'm still whole. I'm still whole. Mm-hmm. Then it bounces back up, and it goes back up to 240.
Yeah.
You know, and this is, I don't know, it's around 1 o'clock, and I'm going like, oh, we're fine. We go to sleep, right?
Yeah.
And then, you know, we go to sleep. Asia wakes up to the news that, you know, cryptocurrency has been banned, outlawed for institutions to take as a currency.
Uh-huh.
Right? It's still okay to own it. It's still okay for people to hold it and trade it.
Yeah.
But it just can't, it's institutions can't touch that.
Yeah.
China's getting ready, as we were talking about this morning. China's getting ready for their own cryptocurrency, their stable yuan.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And I think that's the thing. So,
yeah.
We talked about the Elliott wave theory.
Yeah.
Right. And that takes us on the emotional buyer's journey during that heated rise.
Yeah.
Well, there's another one, and it's called the Wyckoff Method.
Mm-hmm.
And the Wyckoff Method is really expanded. It goes into the journey of the rise, the psychology of the rise, the psychology of the moving sideways. The testing. Let me see if I can. Let me quickly see if I can add this.
Yeah.
Can I add? So it's basically it takes it on the uprise, and that said that we get into a very distinctive pattern, kind of like it's an upside down horseshoe. So talk a little bit. You woke up this morning, you looked at your portfolio, and then how did that feel?
Well,
you just worked really hard to build yourself up to this spot.
Yeah, I did. Well, I know what it was last night. We were watching PDEX. I was going between SHIB and PDEX because I thought I want to get something because it's going down. What do I want to do? Do I want to go back into PDEX? And I've been hearing good things from yourself and just some of the little bit of research that I'd done. Plus, I'd already made a couple of nice gains, 25% both times on my initial purchase. So I thought, wow, it's coming down nice. And we're watching it, and it hit 17.5 later on in the evening, and I missed it, and it was up to 19. I thought, oh, darn, that's kind of high. I'd like it to come back down. So it came down to 17. So I got it at 17.01 or something like that. It was like right just at the $17 mark. I thought, wow, it's pretty good. So I got a few more coin there, and thought, Phil, that was a nice way to end the evening. So we go to bed, and I wake up, and I forget what it was at. It was really low. I'm thinking, holy crow! It was like, no, I got it at 27. In the morning, we saw it. It was like 16.75 or something like that. So it was crazy. So I was feeling deflated, and you get nervous. Like I was getting physically nervous, thinking, what's going on? What caused this? Such a drop. I mean, I can understand, small incremental drops. It's such a massive drop like that. I thought, what's this all about? And looking at all the other ones, I'm seeing the same thing. Fortunately for myself is I'm pretty grounded in the sense that I believe in cryptocurrency. I expect this. I remember even when I first got involved with traditional stock market, they said the minute you buy, expect it to drop 50% before you see any kind of gains. So I kind of already had that mentality in my mind that anytime I step in we'd love it to go shoot up because here we are, we're investing in something, and of course it's going to go up because I'm investing in it. It never usually does. So
only when you sell.
Exactly right. Exactly right. It just had me concerned because it was like, darn, I missed some opportunities. But it was like, okay, here's an opportunity. I'm going to learn what I can as a newbie, find out what's going on, do some research, do some reading, see what other people are saying, and just kind of center myself. Ended up visiting my parents. We did some replanted some succulents, did some stuff around the house, kept busy. I couldn't get on KuCoin anyway, so it's like, I'm just going to breathe, give it a break, do some other things. We made some ice cream. And so we had a fairly good productive day outside of cryptocurrency.
Yeah, so that's the best thing to do to get that emotional energy away.
Yeah, exactly. So that you have a clearer mind and you can go back at it more grounded and centered in yourself and not anxious, because that's when you're going to make the wrong decisions and wrong choices. Yeah, the cool thing is there's a video that just came out with Baltic. I'm going to say his name wrong. Is it Baltic? It's
Yeah.
in,
Sorry, it just vaporized.
yeah, I can never remember his name. The guy that
The
donated a billion.
Ethereum dude.
Yeah, well, he's talked today. They were doing like a Zoom call with him and talking about the SHIB coin.
Yeah.
So, and they're talking about it going to the moon. So there was still great optimism. I mean, there was somebody I saw that posted today on Facebook, I think Crypto Canada, that they made some good gains today. So it's not all bleak and the end of the world here.
Yeah, I mean, I bought in fortunately, I had closed the position out and I was trying to buy into something, and my sale position didn't get filled.
Yeah.
So I woke up with a small bag of stablecoin, and I dumped it into Polkadot.
Yeah.
And Polkadot was down around $25, and I said, well, that one, it's been kind of a stable coin for a while, around $40. So I'm going to throw it back in there, and hopefully it goes back up.
Yeah.
So Vitalik Buterin, right?
Right.
And that's Mr. Ethereum, the SHIB man.
Yeah. And that's good that they're still having those conversations.
Oh, absolutely.
Because that brings more optimism back into the arena. And then people, we're emotional beings. We need to be reassured. And those sorts of conversations help bring that assurance back in that, yeah, things are safe. It's not going away. We're going to be okay. But now that, you asked me how I am as a newbie waking up to that. How did you feel? Did you go into your, I get to figure this out mode, or were you into your emotional side, or how did that go for you?
Yeah, there was the, oh shit.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, that's takes me back to February, literally.
Yeah, right.
Because all these gains vaporize, and that, and you go, okay, by noon when my son wakes up, because he pretty much works Hawaiian time.
Yeah.
Right. So he's 5-hour time shift. So
yeah.
And by the time he wakes up, things have recovered considerably. Right.
Mm-hmm.
The portfolio is already back up 25%. It's just things are bouncing. So it was there's definitely some emotions in there. I'd say this time it definitely was like, okay, we're coming back. Where are the opportunities? Can I do a dip to dip? Right. So all my stuff has dipped, and it's dipped about, I was looking, some dip 50%, some dip 60%, some dip 20%. So I'm looking at these going, which dips can I flip? Yeah. Right. And so I looked at that, and I didn't move anything.
Yeah.
Yet. Because I think, kind of like yourself, it's like, when is the bottom? Right. And I think we're there, because we're starting to see some rallying going on. So it's, just chill. Don't panic sell. Don't do things. And this is more of everybody's been crying for, crying is a little bit dramatic. I'm sorry, but everybody's been asking for, when's the dip coming? When's the dip coming? I want to buy, right? It's too high. It's too high. It's too high. Here it is.
Yeah.
This is T-ball. They put it up on that little stand there, baby. Just knock it out of the park.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's, I'm going to show you the picture of the Wyckoff.
Oh yeah. Right. Yeah. You were looking for that.
Right. So that is basically, here we go. So you can see the Elliott, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Boom, boom. And then you can see another Elliott. And then you can see the trail on that second wave of Elliott. And then you see the moving sideways, kind of doing the flag, jumps up. And it's showing, here's where, this is the all-time high.
Yeah.
Right? So testing the new all-time high. And then we're getting into the Elliott drops off again. And then it just, boom, it's gone. Yeah. And this is what we saw. Now, I was talking to my other son, my eldest, and he was saying that he was watching this video, and on April 25th, this guy sold all his holdings, everything, went into stablecoin on April 25th.
Wow.
And waited for the Wyckoff to finish, and then bought back in.
Wow.
Right. So this is definitely something. Yeah, brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. played it, understands it. So this is the school of stock charts, market analysis, the Wyckoff method. So this is something that we us and our viewers really need to pay attention to when we're looking at the overall market.
Yeah.
So when we look at the overall market, what's going on? Phase A, phase B, phase C, D, and E. And it tells us about what's going on. And so basically the Wyckoff method incorporates, what we've discussed. And so we've seen this whole shift in the market, and we've come into, and then there's this discussion that we're going into a super cycle this year. And I think this correction of this significance, $65,000 all-time high of Bitcoin, $30,000 I saw it touch on this morning. It may have went lower, but it bounced back up to 37, 38,000 pretty quick over a few hours. There were some really good opportunities for people to get in on the Bitcoin. I don't believe, and the charts will say it, that we're not at the end of the bull run. We're definitely, we're somewhere in here. We could be in that SOW phase B type of thing, where we're going to move onto now we're going to get into a new grouping, a new Wyckoff opportunity. So we're going to see the Elliott waves up, and we're going to see it bounce and move over. And this is where we could see some significant increases. This is where we could see the $100,000 to $150,000 Bitcoin. We could see Ethereum break the 10,000. Hey, I don't know. You know what? I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice.
Nope.
I'm pulling this information out of the ether. My ether, where my ether is, right?
Yeah, I do.
I sent my crystal ball in for tuning because it certainly let me down. So this is, so it's interesting. We listen to the old guys in the market, right? People who have been in it for 3 or 4 cycles, right? It was a really great conversation this morning with
Curtis.
And Curtis, living through that whole trading cycle. And I mean, I started mining, right? And so, I wasn't doing trading. I had a different agenda, and it was like, okay, I seen that, people that were mining, that they were doing okay, they did well, and then I said, oh, the trading, there's a real opportunity there. So here we are. So the Wyckoff method looks like it would just be an extension of learning to what we learned about
Elliott wave.
The Elliott wave, right? So there's some good reading. I think that you and your girlfriend will enjoy that. I know I definitely will. And then we can, it's Wyckoff, not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I get the message.
We had this whole thing, right? So we got Elon tweets, boom. Yeah. Then you get the FUD about, Department of Justice and IRS going after Binance, right?
Oh, Binance, yeah.
Right. So you got XRP, and now there's this FUD about Binance, and then there's the, you said you had another one. You were saying that
Polytech. Yeah.
And in there, Vitalik dumps off $1 billion. Bless his heart.
Yeah.
What a humanitarian. Dumps off $1 billion at the peak of the market. That was kind of like the Litecoin thing for people who understand that from the 2018.
Yeah.
And then we get this whole thing going on about China regulating Bitcoin. And there was announcements about Beijing, all of these things, so that there's different nails in the coffin. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. FUD, heavy FUD.
So people are saying it's coordinated too, right?
Yeah, it like the way these things lined up, they just don't see happenstance.
Yeah.
They just didn't show up.
Yeah,
maybe they did, but someone says to me that if I was a whale with lots of money, and there's lots of them that were waiting for the perfect storm, what better way than to have a machine that creates a perfect storm?
Yeah.
And I can guarantee you, if we go to whale watch, there'll be massive amounts of buying this morning. Wallets getting filled up, and that's that whole thing about paper hands and diamond hands. You're familiar with that statement, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh,
so
yeah.
the paper hands are the new retail investors that it's fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and they're selling off. And the diamond hands are, we've seen this. We know that it's a correction. It's a correction that's needed so that we can go to the next phase climb, right?
Yeah, I can't keep going up and up and up as much as we'd like it to. It has to come down, and you just need to be prepared for it.
Yeah. So diamond hands at this point can treat you well.
Yeah.
And it could also be a really good opportunity to move from, if you're into a bunch of high cap altcoins and you felt uncomfortable with that, it might be a really good time to move into more of a Bitcoin dominance in your portfolio.
Yeah.
Right. So I think Bitcoin has moved sideways long enough that it's time for it to maybe make a little showing.
Yeah.
And then it'll do its showing, and then it'll be time for Ethereum to come back in, the little brother.
Yeah.
And then to see the altcoins going crazy.
Yeah. And the thing too is, like, until you sell, you aren't noticing a loss. Like, right now on paper, I have a loss, but I'm not moving anything. I'm not getting rid of anything. So I haven't lost anything.
Well, and it's like I was sitting there and I was going through this. You asked me, like, did I go into my head? And it's, yeah, because I was thinking I should realize a loss now. But the thing is, all my positions were still green. So I'm not getting a loss. If I would have sold, I wouldn't realize a loss. Had I bought Bitcoin at 57,000, then it would have made sense for me this morning to sell, because I could have recorded a $20,000 loss and buy back in. Right. So, but I wasn't in that position. And then, that it was still cash positive because of the timing that the money went into the market.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't think the bill runs over. I could be wrong. What do you think, Bill?
I think as hard as the news was, and as hard as it is to swallow what we just went through, like, I'm a newbie, but I'm thinking that it's going to come back up because the nature of the game, the nature of the emotional aspect of it, that's the way it is. There are enough people out there that are invested in it and believe in it enough that it's going to rise back up. Yeah. Because myself, I might be 30% down, and I did buy my first chunk of Bitcoin when it was 60,000 3 months ago in mid-February. Yeah. And, that was the lowest I bought it. I think the highest purchase was at 72. This is Canadian, 72,000. Yeah. Right. And now we're looking at 42 or something like that. But I'm not worried about it, because Bitcoin for me is a long hold. It's meant to build value in my financial sovereignty, as I love that phrase. So, I'm fine with that. And I'm putting it behind me in the sense that I'm not going to allow that to affect my future decision making, and kind of start with a clean slate. It's like, okay, this is where we're at. This is where these coins are at right now. SHIB looks pretty fantastic right now. And same with PDAX and all the other ones that are out there. If you have money, then there are people that are going to want to get in.
Yeah. And, there's an opportunity. I mean, in these pop coins, these meme coins, and it's like you said, Vitalik, did a live stream, and they're talking about it going to the moon. It's like, well, if you bought $100 of SHIB, another 100 now, and just put it there, even if you haven't been in it. I mean, it's a pop coin. Yeah. Right. And so it's driven by, it's driven by memes. It's driven by the social networks. It's driven by desire.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I think when we see it drop down, we think the interest in it's gone, but it's not that. There are still millions of people interested in for example, like the ship coin because of the social media aspect, right?
Yeah.
So that's not gone. It's so when people see BTC drop to 30,000, it's like, it's not because people aren't interested anymore. It's because it's the emotional aspect of it. It'll come back up because we're emotional. We need that hit of the rise. So we're going to make it happen as human beings.
Yeah, that's it. We want this emotional journey.
Believe it or not.
This is our, this is the bridge. That's the bungee cord. And we're going to jump.
Yeah.
Just hope that bungee cord is tied on well and that we're far enough away from the water.
Yeah.
When we bounce, that we come back up, and that our back is strong enough to hold us together.
Yeah.
That we don't come apart.
Oh, no kidding. Us car guys, because we're into cars, it's like, I don't know if you know Kitchener with the expressway, but I used to, in the early 80s, I had a 70 Cutlass. I used to race on the expressway all the time for the thrill. And we're just that way. I don't know what the demographics is for male to female in the cryptocurrency, but it probably is more male dominant. And we need that challenge. We need that chase. We chase the females in our relationships, right? Yeah. And we need to have that chase. And this is it. One of them.
Yeah. I think the demographics everywhere are changing, but it's like, it's thrilling. It's thrilling, and
it is.
There's a lot of people in crypto, and I'm excited.
Me too.
It's thrilling.
Yeah.
We're not going to play that. The thrill is gone, baby. The thrill is gone. The thrill is gone, baby. There's, it's kind of like, I'm not doing justice to BB King and Lucille there.
Yeah, that's right.
But you get it.
But
that's, let's just hold on. Let's keep an observation. Let's go off and read and study the Wyckoff and understand how this is going. And it comes back more into what we're talking about, the emotional intelligence of investing. Call it diamond hands, call it just, being cautious and watching. And I think that story of the person who sold everything, where he saw the peak of the Wyckoff and, bought back in this morning.
Boy, he's going to be sitting pretty.
Well, and that's it. And that's emotional intelligence.
Yeah. And so if he was able to read the Wyckoff successfully, and he did, which means that he feels that the market is going to go back up, or else he would not have gone back in when he did.
Exactly. So. Because, as we've seen, the cycles repeat themselves. Right? And the Wyckoff ties together those psychological events.
Yeah.
That where we see, the Elliott wave go up, that followed by the 1, 2, 3 pumps, and then we see the Elliott wave go down, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Then we see, it could be followed by a bit of sideways movement, and then that sideways movement leads into another Elliott that takes us to an all-time high, that comes into an Elliott down, and then it moves into kind of a pennant, and then it kind of retests, hits the resistance, and then it does the Elliott down, the exit.
Yeah.
And, so I think if we understand that and we spend time on it, we can understand the market and position ourselves better.
Oh, for sure.
And be emotionally prepared in our financial plans and our strategy to be able to take advantage of the market moves.
Yeah.
Right. Or the other thing is you just keep doubling down into Bitcoin and just hold long time if that's your belief that Bitcoin is going to be, and that you're not looking for a short-term gain, you're looking for long-term wealth.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, quite a day.
What a ride, baby.
Hump day.
Hump day. Yeah. Hump day to pump day.
Yeah.
So
good.
That's cool. Well, it was awesome to connect today and talk. And thank you, everybody, for staying with us.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed having you here. Like, subscribe, comment. Let us know what you like about what we're talking about, what you'd like to hear more of.
Yeah.
Share this out because we could use the love on Facebook and on. You'll find us over on YouTube. And thank you for hanging out.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Have a great evening, Bill.
Yeah, well, you too, Jeff. You take care.